What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, here with two prototypes from Northern watches. Now, they've stepped into the spotlight with the NW1 Bronze Age and the NW2 Northerner. They're both elegant. They kind of bridge functionality with beauty. They have identical dimensions, 37.7 millimeters by 47.7 millimeters, and a case thickness of 10.5 millimeters. They have a really nice balance between modern sizing, but wearability for a variety of wrists. So it's not huge, not too small. It's good for a diverse wrist size, I should say. But let's look at the defining features of both of these watches, and there's something very interesting about the movement they chose. And again, these are prototypes, so hopefully in the future we can get the production models in this office. It is 2:39 p.m. Let's get down to business. So let's talk about the case and materials for both of these watches. Now, the NW1 Bronze Age is crafted from, drumroll please, bronze. I know, very, very surprising here. Now, it's kind of unique every time you get a bronze watch in your hands, because after a while it will start to patina, and no two bronze watches will look the same over time, which kind of builds its own character as you own the watch. So I really do appreciate that. Now, kind of in contrast with the Bronze Age is the NW2 Northerner. This is 316L stainless steel. Now again, pretty much identical specs here, except this is much more cool. And I don't mean cool as in radical. I mean cool as in it's, there's literally a snowflake on the dial, and it's not a warm material like bronze. This is steel, so it's a little bit more static, I would say, because, it's going to take a lot to get any patina on that watch. But jokes aside, this will maintain a more pristine finish over time, and it caters to wearers who might value more of a static, sophisticated look over a warm, patinated look. Now, both of these watches do have an embossed snowflake on the dial. Again, on the NW2, it's a little bit easier to see. On the kind of matte slate textured dial of the NW1, it's a little bit more stealth, and I really do like that. I like both presentations quite nicely, except I kind of, again, really like the warmth and the kind of understatedness of the NW1 Bronze. But regardless of your personal preference with these two models, there's something that I think is really cool and really interesting when it comes to the movement that Northern watches chose for these models. Now, it does have a Sellita, and you can look at the case back, it looks like a Sellita movement, but it's a SW332 instead of the normal SW201 that we typically see in microbrand watches. Now, this, for those of you who are kind of pinging in your head, it's like, hey, they're missing a hand on this watch. It's true, this is a GMT movement, but it doesn't present as a GMT. Now, it does have a 56-hour power reserve. It is a Swiss movement, but what's interesting is they chose to utilize the GMT hand as the hour hand so that you can still jump independently the hour hand if you are traveling time zones without complicating the dial with another hand to show dual time zones. Now, that might turn some people off. They might think, well, hey, if I'm getting a GMT movement, I want a GMT hand, I want two time zones, but they wanted to simplify the presentation of this watch and give it some added functionality without making it a full-fat GMT. Now, when we're looking at wearability, I think around 38 millimeters is great for a multitude of wrists. Some people might think if it's below 40, they will not wear it. I'm a bigger dude. I have just over 7.5-inch wrists, and I think that these wear very nicely. I think 10.5 millimeters with the crystal, as far as a case thickness goes, slides under the cuff effortlessly. You can wear this as a dressier watch. You can wear it as an everyday watch. And at 47.7 millimeter lug to lug, this does have enough wrist presence without appearing oversized. So here's my final thoughts on these two watches. The NW1 Bronze Age, the NW2 Northerner. I think depending on which one you want, it'll show kind of what you like in your watch collection? Do you want something that will patina, that will build character over time, or do you want something a little bit more cool and a little bit more sophisticated? Either way, I think you're going to choose a nice watch with these Northern watches. I'm excited to see the production models of these because, again, for now, these are prototypes, but they will be launching very soon. So in the comments, let me know, what is your first impression for these watches, and what do you think that Northern watches could do better? All right, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it.